This is a test of the emergency broadcast system.
This is only a test.
DJs and MC. This DJ, he gets down.
Listen to this jockey's introduction to
Two DJs in a mic with your host, DJ Mike.
Is that a timetable?
And DJ JP.
Well, get on it. It's your time.
Give me the mic.
Intro. That intro does something to me every time.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Yes. Again, we want to thank you guys for joining us for another episode. What episode is this, Jeff? What episode are we on?
Episode 34, man. We started this
30
October the 29th, 2022, and we've been going every week since that time.
A whopping 34.
Yep, yes, 34 weeks.
Yes. Well, today, we have been blessed with, one of Dallas' own, one of our best DJs in the industry. None other than DJ Ivan G. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great, Mike. Thank you, JP. Thank you both.
Yeah,
thank you both, man. That's awesome. That's 36 weeks. You said
34.
34 weeks. Nice.
Well, really 36. We missed 2 weeks because of illness and just different things happened to us, so we trying to keep up with it. We had to go back and count, and I know we missed 2 because I was traveling or Mike was doing something, but we own it, so we're gonna know the number from this point forward. So this is episode number 34 with DJ Ivan G, the one and only, the one.
Oh yes. So
the DMC champion, all kind of stuff. That guy's done it all, man.
Oh yes. And I've been blessed to take some of his classes. We kind of fell off, not because of him, but because of me. And that has been a wonderful thing. And I really appreciate, you taking out your time to work with me on some things that I want to get better at. So definitely. I appreciate that. But for respect for your time, man, we want to just, jump right in and just, ask you some questions. And me, first and foremost, what drove you to DJ? How did this happen?
Man, it happened back in 93, 94. When I used to just hang out with my big brother. We used to go to parties, and I was the youngest one. So my parents used to force him to take me with them. And forced my brother to take me with them, and so I was like just like the youngest one, and my brother would be just chill right here in this corner, right at this house parties, and I was just right next to the DJ. I remember that one time it was right next to this DJ, and I was just watching him, and I was looking at his turntables, his 1200s, with his I don't even know what mixer he had back then, but just looking at all the little lights, the platters just turning, the records. It just looks so like futuristic to me because I live in an apartment with 6 brothers, 2-bedroom apartment, so we didn't really have much. So looking at a DJ setup for me was just like incredible, like a spaceship, right? And I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with it when I saw this DJ over there in Farmers Branch, and I think his name was something. I forgot his DJ name it was, but there was this DJ named DJ Enemy, who I just started talking to him not too long ago as well. He was one of those DJs back in the 90s, and then I used to listen to the radio a lot, and I just record, like everyone else, just record mixes on tape because we couldn't get music from nowhere else than the radio. So I used to listen to 100.3 Jams with DJ Baby G. And,
yes, sir. I remember Baby G.
Yeah, I used to record those tapes, and just so I can listen to them back at the house or during the day or whatever hour, I used to just play back those mixes. And but man, yeah, that's what it was. And I always love music. I always love music, really. After that, I started collecting records. After I started seeing this DJs, I'm like, man, I gotta keep some records. So I started finding about record stores, and there were so many record stores back then. So I started just collecting records. That was my hobby. I think I was like 14, and my weekends was about just begging my dad or one of my brothers to take me to the record store, either Top 10 in Oak Cliff or Rhythm Tracks, Bill's Records, Spin Masters.
Don't say Bill, man. Bill,
yeah.
Man, Bill had some of the good stuff, man. But when he looked at the date on that record, man, every time I left from Bill, I felt like I had been raped.
Yeah. No, the records there were really, really expensive, but he had some of the best selections.
Oh yeah,
like funky mixes and X mixes and ultra mixes. He had those, and I love those records. Anything that was DJ friendly. The raw beats, all those, man. He had all a great selection. Spin Masters had a great selection too. There were quite a few record stores. Tower Records, Oakland Records, man. My passion really was being inside record stores, just listening to music, just digging through music, just searching for those songs, just searching for hits that I could use on the dance floor. That's and it still is to this day. I mean, that's what I do for a living as well. I curate music for BeatSource, so I'm constantly listening and trying to pick like the new stuff that comes out that's perfect for the clubs and playlist it, and I just love music. And what's crazy is that this is back in '94. I didn't really speak any English. I was it was just all because when we migrated here, I was like 8 years old. So this was like, I was like 14. So my English was still broken, it was still not. Wow. So I used to like listen to records based off the beats. Like if the beat was awesome, and that's why I liked a lot of electro, because there was no vocals on most of that stuff. It was like Electric Kingdom, Planet Rock. There's just a few words on it, but just mainly a beat, like clear, clear. This is like a robot just singing.
Clear,
clear, and then the beat's just banging, and I was like, oh, I love this beat. So I always love music, just good beats, man. I used to, if I digged and I pay a lot of dollars and for records that I just wanted to have, that I needed to have, and it was tough, man. I mean, imagine who's gonna pay $50 for a song right now when you can just buy it for $1 or download it or play it from Spotify. Music, it's free, but back then if I wanted that song on record, it was $50 for one song. I mean, and I did that, and I do that. I pay a lot of money for music. I love music, so
wow,
I didn't have a problem with it because I needed that record. But at the same time, I did play that record for thousands of people, so I was able to take that record to the public, which is very cool as well. It was a very cool feeling for people to be like, man, I heard that from you, and that was a jam back then. I mean, you used to hear that a lot.
Yeah.
You hear that like, oh man, you were the first. I heard that from you. You got that. Put that on the mix for me. Put that on the tape for me. Now, no one's asking for that no more because now everyone's got access to like.
Got access to everything. Yep.
Yeah. But us DJs, we had groupies just, of music heads, behind DJs because they wanted access to those songs on a tape or somehow.
Yeah.
So it was very cool. It felt good buying records and then knowing that you're gonna play it and no one else is gonna hear it from like nowhere else but from you. And we kind of lost that in the DJ. We kind of lost that. We're not. People are not listening.
No, it's not exclusive anymore. And then
like kids listen to it before we do now. Like
we have to try to keep up with them now.
Yeah.
Instead of,
they used to have to keep up with the DJs now. Yeah, no, the DJ.
You can't break anything because they break it for you. Yeah,
everybody's got 1,000 plays on it.
Yeah,
yeah. So and it's a whole new world, but I think it just keeps moving and evolving.
Yeah.
Now I'm curating like, streaming songs, like songs that are not even on vinyl. They're not even MP3s anymore. They're just on the cloud.
Yeah.
Like when I'm DJing, I'm playing, everything's on the cloud. Everything's on Beat Source. Everything's like, I don't even have to like get ready or prepare or go buy that song or download it before to my downloads folder. Then from my downloads to my iTunes folder, and then from iTunes folder, all I just inside Serato, Beat Source, Plum, search the song and it's there. Brand new song. It just came out today, and it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
It's like before I had to like waste $30 to go to the record store, dig for that record, hope that it was there. Hope that
pray the last copy was on.
Yeah, and I was like, man, who took all the copies? And the guys are holding it for their DJ buddies, the guys at the record store. So it was a hustle, it was a struggle, but it was a good feeling though, knowing that that music was your weapon, and not everyone had access to the same stuff. So not everyone's got access to everything, so there's no excuses now. Now everyone's just got to really be unique, and just evolve and just keep on doing their thing and in different ways. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about breaking songs anymore. It's just so much more going on.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yep. All right. Jump into this. What is it about the art of DJing that makes you continue to want to do it, man? What drives you to keep going doing this?
Really, I think it's just there's really nothing else that I know how to do.
Wow. Hold on, man. Wow.
Right, Mike?
Wow. I wasn't expecting you to say
No, nobody can say that one. What kind of answer is that, dog?
I don't know what else to do. What else could I do if I'm not DJing? Like everything that I do I'm not necessarily just DJing, but everything that I do, it all comes down to like DJing. Like right now, I'm actually on Final Cut Pro editing video loop clips. So right now I'm a video editor, and I'm getting those loops ready for my DJ gig on the weekend. So I'm going to use them. So I'm not necessarily DJing, but I'm getting ready for my gig. I'm just, there's just so many things that you got to do now to get ready for gigs.
Yes, try to prepare and stay ahead of it because it's crazy.
Yeah, so I do a lot of things, but all those things at the end, I do them because I want them to bring me to DJing, or I'm going to use them on my gigs, But I think the best answer for that, it would have to be music. Music is really what drives me, from DJing. Just the control that it gives me. When you're DJing, it just gives you so much control of the music. There's so much that you can do with the music. So and it's just fun. It's like, for me, it's a video game, really. It's just if I'm stressed out, I just jump on the turntables and do my thing, and that's just
It's like therapy. Yes.
yeah, it's like therapy. I feel like I went to the gym. I'm like, all right, I did my thing. It just helps me. It just really helps me. It's just, you know, if I'm not DJing, I'm doing a DJ class or helping somebody get ready for a gig, or I'm getting ready for a gig. So it's 24/7. 24/7.
Well, that's a beautiful thing, though. I don't see that as a negative at all. I see it as a beautiful thing because it's nothing like doing something that you love to do.
Yeah.
And just from hearing you say how when you saw that guy DJing and how futuristic that was and how it just grabbed you. One of the things that we've talked about often is how, when that DJ bug bites you, how it affects all of us in some kind of way. And it has such a strong gravitational pull. When you just really love it, your life is centered around it.
Yes.
So I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I really that's what I wanted to do. I was like, I just need to, I started, DJing at a young age, and I started
how
working
old were
at
you
a young
when you
age.
started?
So,
How old were you when you started?
well, when I got my first turntables, I was about 14, 15. When I got my first, cheapy turntables. Then I think about 16, I got me some 1200s finally. 16, 17, I was able to afford some 1200s. And right now, I'm in my early 40s, 40, 41. I forgot how old I am. So it's I stopped counting already. So, but yeah, so I've been DJing for about 25 years now.
Wow.
Wow, congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've been full-time DJing since 2003.
Oh,
I just during the week I just get ready for my DJ gigs on the weekend. I work just doing different things. I'm an instructor for Guitar Center. I'm also have my studio where I do the classes, where you might are familiar with those with the studio, the DJ Factory here in Grand Prairie, and I got kids. I got my little boy, my family, and man, I got so much life going on. I'm just blessed, really.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
so much
a beautiful thing
stuff going on. Yeah. So I'm blessed just to be able to stay busy doing what I like.
Yeah. Love.
So what are some of your best business practices?
I think it's just good service.
Define it.
Service.
Define good service, Ivan.
I think good service is knowing where you are, where you're DJing at, because not every gig's the same. Like you really have to know how to blend in, and you really have to know how to play the right music at the right place. How to be a good DJ. You really got to be able to, if you're at a place and they tell you like, hey, Ivan, I need you to come and DJ. It's gonna be some top 40 stuff, and then you show up, and they want nothing but 70s. You have to be able to adapt, and you have to have the playlist, and you have to be good at it, and you have to play the hits. And if you show up and they're like, Ivan, we need you to play hip hop, and then 90% of the crowd, they want reggae music, you have to be able to play reggae. You have to be able to rock it and play the hits. You have to be able to blend in any situation. I think that's what's helped me the most. If I wasn't able to do that, I wouldn't had most of the gigs that I have now. And that allows me to have different gigs and not get tired, because I remember when I started DJing, I was just doing just house gigs, house dance music. So, I had a gig once in a while, but then I'm Latino. I know the Latin music. So I started, practicing with that. Of course, the hip hop. Man, I really think just, me, since I migrated here, I already knew so much Latin music from South Mexico and South. I just knew so much of that whole Latin world. I know it. And then growing up here, going here to elementary, junior high, high school, just listening to all the hip hop and everything on the radio, you know, I just know so much music, So for me, I was able to go anywhere and play. Oh man, there's some Latinos in the back. They want this, rock it. Oh man, they want some hip hop over here, I rock it. They want some house music, I had the hits, I rock it. And I think that's what helped me the most, just being able to know my music, and just know a little bit of everything, from my country music to everything.
Wow.
One day I'm doing an all straight out Mexican wedding. The other, tomorrow I'm doing a Nordstrom's fashion show. Then the next day I'm doing a DJ battle, all b-boy style. I mean, you got to be ready for whatever. And I think that's what helped me, that I can just do it all. People, they like, man, you doing a wedding? And then they're like, man, you're battling on the DMC. And then they're like, man, you're doing fashion shows. And then, all you doing just the all house EDM show. And it's just like, I just love music. One day I feel like doing something and I want to do it. I don't want to listen to house music all day, every day, or hip hop all day, every day. Sometimes I just want to listen to reggae, and I'm just like, man, I need to get me a reggae gig. And I try to find one or try to create one or do something, and I think that's what keeps me going, because I'm never doing the same thing. I'm always doing something cool, something different,
Yeah.
They're like, Ivan, can you do the state fair? Boom, I'm on it. So I'm playing top 40, 70s, 80s, rock. I'm playing everything, and they love it. And they're like, and the Latin stuff, of course, So Mike, you can throw me anywhere and I'll keep people dancing, and it's all thanks to the music. It's all the music is what does all the work for me. I just play it.
Yeah.
The music sets the vibe.
Man, that's good stuff. I hope that the people that's out there listening and the people that will listen later really take heed to that, because, man, it's so important, and you have to be able to be thrown in any situation. I look at it like being in the military. If they throw you in Kuwait, or if they throw you in Taiwan, wherever they throw you at, you have to be able to relate. And I was talking with Chris Tootsie, the DJ, and I was telling him we were talking about the labels, how open format, and I was telling him that I really don't like the labels. For me, a DJ is someone that can play to any situation. When you find a DJ that can only play to a certain situation, and no disrespect, for me, looking at that, I don't really see you in a true sense of a DJ, because my definition of a DJ is, hey, any situation, you rock it. I tell people, I look at one of my favorite lyrics out of a Bon Jovi song, I'm a Cowboy. I take this to heart. I've seen a million people and I rocked them all. And that's how I look at DJ.
Yeah. Yep. No, yeah, that's what it's about. So I always tell DJs, just learn your music, learn your music, because someone's going to ask you for some rock. Someone's going to ask you for a country, and someone's going to ask you for this random song. And the best part about it is that sometimes when they ask for a random request, if you just knock it out of the park, then that's when the tips come in. You never know. You might be dealing with the baller, and because it happens to me all the time. Like, play this song, and I'm like, oh man, I don't even think that song is appropriate for this place. Oh man, you got to play it, man. Play it for me. I'm like, man, that's gonna cost you. And like, oh, play. So I'm just trying to build it up, right? And I'm like, man, give me $50 at least, and I'll play it for you. So, then I have to do the job. I have to take the crowd from this energy down to a whole another energy. It could be just a whole nother vibe. So my job is to not go from a song to another, from, people are just vibing to hip hop and all of a sudden just slap them with the country. I like to either, do some special effects or something, and then introduce that country track. Like, yo, we're talking about country, blah, 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 blah. I got a request. So I even they direct that song, that request straight to that person. That way my guests know that why I'm playing it. Because if you don't introduce what you're fixing to do, now you just go into it, they're gonna be like, what is he doing? You know, why is he playing that song? I mean, everyone was vibing to California Love, and he just went to this weird request. It was a real request, but they don't know that I got that tip, and you can't just go into it, but I like to kind of find, just a good way. You got to introduce everything. You can, as a DJ, you can play anything, you could be like in the middle of a Latin gig, and you play this hip hop and song, and everyone's like, oh, well, this is not a hip hop spot. And, if you throw it in there, people are going to be like, why is he playing that? But if before you play it, you're like, yo, this song is going out to that person right there on that table, welcome to the party. And then you play it, and they're going to be like, all right, he's a good DJ. He's actually playing a request for someone. So you gotta let the crowd know, get them ready for a big change. But you can play anything and everything, and as long as you play it right, I believe that for sure.
Good stuff.
All right, before we run out of time, we're gonna get these last couple questions in. Where is it at? You had it up on the board, right?
Yeah, it's on the screen right there. What do you think makes you different from the rest, man? What is something that you feel separates you from the rest of us poor little DJs out here?
No. Yeah, no, it's tough, man. It's tough because we all have access to the same tools now. You don't have to go out there and go record shopping and not be able to find the songs that you need. I mean, we all have access to the best DJ gear. We have access to the best music with Spotify, with Beat Source. I mean, you have access to everything. So the only thing that separates me from everybody else is just, my skills, because, so I'm always practicing. I'm always trying to just improve my skills from my scratching, my blending, my juggling, just stuff that's going to make me have a good time while I'm mixing. So I think that's what, and it doesn't make me just different. It makes all of us different because we're all at a different level, and we'll have different skills, in many ways. So, it's like, I got some really good cuts. Then my boys got some really good cuts, but I can't do his cuts, and he can't do my cuts, and we're all different. We're all got our own flavor, our own juice.
Yeah.
And I try to make as many little promos as I can to showcase my skills, like on my social media, and just to motivate myself and stuff. So, but I think definitely just, just my skills, and then just the music selection. I've been DJing for a long time, so I know a lot of music.
Yeah.
A lot of music.
It dances in our head. Sometimes we forget it. And just so we can be respectful of your time, make sure we get you out of here on time. Last question. What DJ or DJs have been a positive influence on you? Who are the people that you just really look up to, or have looked up to, or just poured into you, or you tried to be like them?
Man, there's just so many amazing DJs. Like when I started, again, like Baby G, of course. My name Ivan G. I kind of, almost stole it from Baby G. He was just such a big thing for me, and at the same time, Warren G had dropped his album Regulators, and so I was like a super fan, a big fan of that. So I was like, Ivan G, that's it. And but DJ Roxy as well. From Oak Cliff, he's just been around for a long time. I looked up to him, and at a young age, he would let me go through his records, and which it was amazing just for me to have access to Mixx and work with them at the clubs that he owned. All the DJs from Kano, from DJ Felony back then. So many DJs. Now we have a lot of DJs too, like here locally, like we have like my boy Mark Cuts, DJ Mad, all these guys, my boy Tom's, Spider-Man. They all have like their own skills that is like, oh, I wish I could do that. We all have our own, our own superpowers and stuff, our own ways.
The Marvels, huh? The
Yeah,
Marvel DJs.
we all have our own, and then there's big DJs, like of course, Qbert and all those, DJ Craze and all those, out of state. But I thank the local DJs because those are the ones that I always, the ones like my boy TDK, my boy DJ Strict9, rest in peace. My boy DJ Frantic, just so many DJs that I looked up to,
But something that's refreshing to hear from you is that someone actually poured into you and didn't just leave you out there to try to learn for yourself. Because so many DJs when I was coming up, well, you got to get it for yourself, or nobody, you had a few that took you in and might help you, but it was very rare that somebody would open up the doors to you and give you the keys and say, here's the car, take it for a drive.
Yes.
So, it was,
nobody. Yeah. And I totally understand because when I started, I'm not going to let nobody mess with my records or play with my records. DJs don't share needles, that's just, so just being able to go to somebody's house, and being able to
you'll catch that when you get home, people on your drive. Most of them don't even know what that is, though, Ivan G.
You see what I'm, but that's how I was raised, during that time. So that's just a part of me.
Yeah, all of us. I mean, me, you, and Mike, definitely. Yeah,
and but definitely one of the DJs that really helped me a lot was DJ Lonnie Strickland. Again, rest in peace. He's not with us, but Lonnie took me at a young age before I wasn't able to drink, and he would take me to all this fraternities. He would take me to Rock First Friday with him and Baby G, and he would take me to all these gigs. And I think it was like maybe 19, 20. And I was doing this parties where there was like 1,000 people there, right? And this is a black fraternity, and I'm talking about there's 1,000 people there just on the dance floor. And I remember my first party, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna play some hip hop, right? It's a black fraternity, okay, plum. So I'm playing Biggie and this, and people are just started booing me. Wow. And then Strict9's laughing like, man, let me show you how it's done. And he started playing all the dirty South stuff. Because, when you would DJ at a fraternity, they want all South stuff, It's like, oh, we don't hear no Beast Mods. We want like the South stuff.
South side.
South side. Like they wanted the South. They wanted the just South music, the No Limit was super hot, the all that stuff was hot, it's like, so, I started getting booed. So that was like the first time and only time I got booed. And I felt really bad because I thought I was a good DJ, right? So I'm playing like all these funky mixes, and Strict9 started busting out all these records that I started learning about the South, the East, and the West. Because remember, I was, I migrated from here. So I got all this Latin, I got all this going on. I'm thinking hip hop is hip hop, dance is dance, house is house, Latin, country is country. I knew hip hop East and West a little bit, but I wasn't ready. I didn't know how heavy the
South side. Yeah,
I didn't know how heavy it was. And then when you have like 2,000 people just stomping and the energy, I just fell in love with that. I was like literally writing down every record he was playing. Like,
now you can just put your out of Shazam and just let it go.
We didn't have none of that, I wish.
Yeah, what I'm saying, now you can. That's what.
Now you can.
Yeah.
But then go find those records. Where am I going to find those records? I mean, he was playing like the DJ Jubilee, the Muggy on the Stick, and I was like, man, I never heard that song. And everyone's going crazy. And then I'm hearing all the songs.
Cheeky black, cheeky black.
He was playing, and now I have all the stuff like the South music, the all that stuff, and so he really helped me out to learn, and for me, I learned how to rock those parties now. I've done so many parties where there's 2,000 people and I'm the only Latin DJ. I'm the only Latin person there. Me and the people in the kitchen walking around serving, and it's like man, the only Latin guy here is the DJ. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
and Lonnie Strickland, was the one that was allowed me to do that. He taught me how to do that, how to that. So man, it was awesome. It was awesome. With TDK as well, we rocked so many gigs. TDK took me to a bunch of gigs when I was young, and we used to rock so many gigs. I used to carry TDK's crates, and he'll bring me in, and so cool because he'll grab the mic and he'll stop the whole party and be like, all right, I'm gonna show you guys something. I'm gonna show you guys something. And this is like, uh, all ballers party, right? Just a line outside. There's ballers there, and I'm the only Latin guy, a little Latin guy, and TDK stopping the party for this little Latin short guy. And then everyone's like, man, what? And then I started just doing my thing, cutting it up, and he'll find a way to just get everyone to just cheer and wow. And man, I just felt so much energy. And
man, that is really good to hear that you had so many people that.
And it was awesome. It was awesome, and that they let me be a part of that. And learn a little bit of everything. And I try to help DJs. Like there's DJs that help me like, the next time you have a Latin party, let me know, because I want to learn that music and I want to learn what you play, and I want to learn that head, and I want to be able to rock that crowd if I'm in front of it. I want to be able to play for everyone in any situation you throw me in. So, sometimes I get into a situation where I know I have a big event and I know they're going to win some country. Then I'll start, diving in and listening to my homies and trying to find out what they're playing. And, it's just like anything. I didn't run away from a gig. I was like, let me get ready and let me rock it. I want to make sure that I can rock it.
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Well, Eureka.
Yeah. Well, my brother.
Do you have time for one more? Or you need to go.
Drop it, Mike. Drop it. I'm good.
Okay. All right. This is an important question for me. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about practice, and is that necessary, for you and your craft?
I think so, Mike. I think it's and not just practice, but even try to take it to where you can enter competitions, enter local battles. Practice for a reason. And I think I always encourage, there's a DJ battle coming here that my boy Albert G's putting together, and Louis like this, big DJ battle coming through in Dallas in July. And anytime there's a battle going on, always try to enter the battle. Just because, when I know that I have a competition or a battle coming up, I just get that, I'm just getting the practice mode. I don't want to just, just not just show up and just freestyle. So that motivates me. I want to have a reason to practice, because if I don't enter any battles, if I'm just kind of just DJing on the weekends, I'm not really pushing myself. I like to, if I know there's a battle, local or a good battle where I can travel, and I'll buy a plane ticket and I'll practice for 2 months and go and compete. And again, I do it because it makes me better, and I compete, not competing against everyone else. I'm always competing against myself. I'm like, if as long as my sets are getting better, as long as I'm practicing more, I already gained something, I already won something, So, it's, I started years back, I started, training my mind to think like that, just to, so I have a reason to practice. And I tell every DJ, if you want to get better, just enter a competition. And I bet you're going to be sweating because you don't want to be up there, just being the last. You at least want to try to, get the top 6 or whatever. So I always try to, if I'm in the top 3, I'm good, but I started, if I'm in the top 6, I'm good. Now, if I'm in the top 3, I'm good. And that's kind of like my range. I always compete, and I'm always like, man, as long as I'm in the top 3, I kind of feel cool. But even if I don't, I still know, because I can see and I can feel just a lot better, because I practice a lot for competition. So and, Mike, there's this DJ battle coming, in July. So both of you, if you want to have something to practice to, or more motivation, enter a competition.
Yeah,
competition.
I like that. I've never
I like that.
I've never I've never looked at it from that point of view. So that gives you a different way of looking at it because I've never looked at it from that point of view. And I think that's a great thing because anytime you have something that will push you, uh, a reason to push you, you can't do nothing but win from that. If you put in the work, and if you have that motivation to get you to that point, you can't do nothing but get better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because all that practice stays with you.
Oh yeah.
All that practice that you put, it's like lifting weights. Those muscles are not going to go away after that competition. You're going to look great way after that competition, and for the next competition, and for the next weekend, you're still going to be looking awesome. When you go to the gym and you have a competition, it's again, it's going to be there for a while. So the skills and just being good on your turntables, I think it's the same thing. The more you practice, it's not just, even if I don't win that battle, I'm still better thanks to this battle, thanks to that battle. I'm still better than I was before because that battle, I knew that this awesome DJs were going to be there, so I wanted to, I didn't want to be the last DJ again. So and I think that's what motivates me the most: DJ competitions and also awesome events. Like, I have a big event this Memorial Day weekend, this Sunday, so I have a huge event. So right now I'm getting ready, I'm preparing, and of course I'm getting better. But yeah, enter competitions, and I think by entering competitions, there's so many DJs now, and a lot of them, they don't want to battle because they don't want to be label as a loser. Oh man, I didn't make it. I didn't make top 6. I didn't, I don't want to be in the battle until I know I can win. I'm like, you're never going to be in a battle then, because it's really hard for someone to just enter a battle and automatically be top 3. You just, unless you're, just really, really, really in there and you're studying the top 3 and you're like, all right, I know who the top 3 are. And I'm studying them, and I'm in the bedroom doing my thing, and I'm studying them, and I make sure that I'm better than them, and then you can compete, and then you can. That's the only way. You have to really study those top 3. But it's really not about that. It's about I'm just competing against myself again. But and I just done it for so long that now I'm just trying to. If I'm in the top 3, I feel comfortable. I'm like, oh man, this is perfect. I feel good. But it's getting tough. Soon it's going to be the top 6. If I'm in the top 6, I'm cool. Soon it's going to be the top 10. If I'm in the top 10, I'm cool. So right now I'm enjoying my top 3, but again, it's just, I just love what I do, and it's just a blessing for me to make a living out of it, and be here.
Yeah.
So,
well, brother, we thank you for coming on with us and sharing a little bit of your story and your gospel and about your trail to where you're at today. And we really appreciate you coming on with us.
Thank you both. Thank you for having me. And Mike, thank you, man. Thank you.
No problem.
Me.
No problem, bro. And
on the show.
Yeah, and I hope to see you soon. Hopefully within the next month or so. I hope to see you soon and get back started on some things. And if you can, just tell people where they can find you, and so forth. Where they can find you for the people that are looking to better their skills. If you want to talk about the school, let us know or let them know.
Awesome. Well, my DJ studio is here in Grand Prairie. You can find me on social media as a Legends DJ Factory. For DJ classes, DJ lessons, just check out the page, check out the pictures. It's an awesome studio where we have a lot of stuff going on in there. And then my personal page is DJ Ivan G. Scratch. You can find me on Instagram and on Facebook as well, DJ Ivan G Scratch. And yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah. Well, man, again, we're grateful to have you, and thank you for spending some of your time with us, and and we look forward to, chatting up with you again whenever, you have time. And we just thank you, man. And I hope everybody that's listening and that will listen later enjoy and realize the importance of putting in work. If you practice and do the things that you do, you can't do nothing but be great at what you do. And like you say, your battle is against yourself. And if you can be a better version of you every time you do it, you already won.
You're winning. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So we, again, we thank you, man. You enjoy the rest of your night, and good luck on your big event on Labor Day. I know you're gonna do your thing. And one of these days, I'm gonna get out there and come to one of your events. I would like to see it live in Memorex, as we used to say.
Yeah.
Please. This Friday, I'm gonna be at Boomer Jack's, the Dallas location.
Okay.
Come hang out. Usually I'm there on Fridays on Dallas location, the Northwest Highway in 35.
What time do you start?
I start at 9:30 to 1:30.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I might can do that. I don't have nothing this Friday.
Me either.
It's a really cool spot because I mix all videos. So I play everything, right? I play just everything from the old school to the new stuff, and everything that I play is with video. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I have cameras. Videos when we did that wedding together. But we'll keep talking. We'll keep you, man. Go put your kids.
Yeah, no, we can be here.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Have a good night.
All right,
thank you both.
We'll talk to you later. All right, man. Okay. All right. Well, that was a great DJ Ivan G. Scratch.
Yes. That was good, man. I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
Great dude.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man. First time I met him, he was real nice, super nice. Nothing good to, you meet some DJs, they can be uppity, stuckity, whatever they are. If they're on the radio or in a certain position, they could be a certain way. But he was nothing like that. He was nothing but nice, man. Real good guy. Yeah. Yep, the same way I hope we come across.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Likewise.
He went a little 18 minutes, 16, 17 minutes long past what he was supposed to be on, but it's all.
Yeah, I'm grateful for it, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, first time we ever had a guest had to cut out on us, but we understand.
Yeah, I'm grateful for it.
So I guess we can jump into some other topics that we had. I won't say hot topics, but just the topic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Please do. I know you got some of the things that you wanted to chat it up about. So.
Well, I mean, yeah. Did you have them in there, or you need me to just go ahead and throw them out there?
Go in there, throw them out there. I'll grab some.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I was one of the ones I was talking about earlier today when we were having our pre-show meeting was where's my notes at? Pre-show meeting was, have you ever had a bad review? Have you ever had somebody write a bad review on you?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Now I've experienced that. Me and you talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't necessarily a bad review, but the lady gave me 5 stars, and then she said something. And I can't remember what it was. But that was very disheartening to me, because I'm like, man, I know I rocked your wedding, and everybody, even yourself, enjoyed it. And then you come back and kind of nitpick, and I can't even remember what she said, but me and you had talked about it, and
yeah. And like I said, I've had one time. It was definitely a bad review. It was like 1. She said if she could give me less than 1, she would. But really,
wow.
It wasn't even my event though. So what it was, I was helping Jose do a wedding on New Year's Eve. So we're in there doing our thing, and he's playing vulgarity, kids, and all that in there and stuff. I mean, I guess we shouldn't have, but he was doing some stuff, and the bride and the mama didn't appreciate it. So they went and hunted me down and wrote me up, and all I was there was due to speak English. So they were so mad with him, with the DJ, man. They went left, and everywhere they could, they wrote something bad. And finally, I was able to get them to take it down because I didn't. It wasn't my wedding. It was another DJ's wedding, and it was whoo. She was hot, man, and I tried to call her, talk to her, and everything, but she was just fit to be tied. So,
wow,
you always, like I said, it wasn't even my event, wasn't in my name, wasn't my contract, wasn't nothing. I was just there to help speak English, and boy, it was a hot, steamy mess.
Wow.
But and then we've had some where DJs have gotten like a 4. And it's a great, like yours. Instead of writing it in there, she gave him a great review. I mean, a great review, and then put the number down because she said one little thing. So it's tough, man. And what can you do? It's hard to fight those because then you call to deal with Wedding Wire Tonight or whoever. They don't want to take them down. You got to prove, beyond a reasonable doubt that it wasn't, that it wasn't true or something. So I don't know, but people say respond to them. Put something in there. And then there's another person I know who said that all good reviews are, you need something that's to make it seem like you're real and stuff is just not there. Just people just writing them. So, something bad in there might not be a bad thing, but somehow I disagree with that. But, it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree. And it's, man, that's a tough situation to be in.
Yes. Tough. And, sometimes, but you know what? If you did something horrible or you had a bad night or it wasn't good. Because I'll give you a perfect example. I was worried about my wedding Sunday, man. I was so worried because we had some problems getting information and different things. And it just seemed like it just had a shutdown on communication. So I didn't get all of my music until we were setting up at the booth that day. Song for Come Down the Aisle. I mean, small little details. Groom wants to airdrop 2 songs to me for introductions. So, I'm like worried, okay, how is this going to go? Or if it don't go right because something, we didn't have something, is it going to be, they're going to be mad with me or blame it on me? Because of the situation. So this is tough, man. You at the mercy of the courts when you're dealing with this stuff, Yeah,
it is. And I'm just saying it's a hard situation to be in, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you can do everything right
mm-hmm.
and still get put in a compromising situation. Because now I will say this when we talk about reviews. Now I've had where somebody writes a fake review.
Oh boy. I had that happen too.
And I had to dispute it and come to find out it wasn't a disgruntled customer. It was someone else in our industry.
I think that was the same thing that happened to me. I had that same thing happen to me.
Someone in our industry
wrote a bad review on us.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have
a routine, usually can always fall back on your perfection.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's it's just kind of strange sometimes because there are some situations where you are you're just in a bad situation where it's other forces,
that can control your life.
Yeah. And the sad thing, anybody can go on and do something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now you can dispute it, but sometimes the damage is already done.
Yeah. Just because it gets out there, it's like a death blow. Because how do you fight something that you can't? You can respond, but it's like I said, there's 2 sides to every story. But it's like all they see is that one, that two, or whatever it is. That's all they see. Nobody go. Somebody might go read your answer just to try to give you another chance, but man, that death blow of that horrible review is just rough. That's like a tomahawk to the head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's rough. And how do you handle it? You try to, respond to it, call them and ask them to take it down.
Yeah. You have to dispute with Google or whatever network. And I'll tell you this: if they do it on Yelp, it takes an act of God for Yelp to remove it down. They will not pull it down, and they can see that it's wrong, and they will not pull it down. They'll force you to pay for their services, and if you don't have like a monthly plan with them, oh man. Yeah.
Wow. Seemed like you had a bad one there.
Well, the thing also, Jeff, you have to keep in mind when it comes to that, one of my own online services that I used to do was reputation marketing. And we dealt with helping people repair and build their reputation. So I have, personal experience from dealing with some of these agencies, Yelp and Google and some of the other, even Facebook, where reviews, play a part. And there's no bigger review than the reviews on Google.
Whew. Yeah. Man, and it's sad that you almost feel like you have to walk on eggshells in any situation that could get you a bad review, because everything could go right and you could have one little thing go wrong, and then you got to be, like I said, you're at the mercy of the court to try to get past that particular moment. And it could be rough, brother. It could be rough. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I have one more question, Mike.
All right.
Just to throw this at you. Say you have an event and you haven't got paid in full. Are you showing up? Would you show up?
If my contract, based on how my contract is written, will determine if I show up. Also, the temperament of the situation. Now, say it's a situation where the client was supposed to pay their invoice, say a week ago.
Yeah.
And I've reached out to them numerous times about payment, and say they haven't responded or well, we're going to take care of it today or whatever. I'll give them a final email in text. If the balance is not
notification.
Yes, if the balance is not paid by such and such time, we will not be showing up to the event. And I will send them a copy of the contract stating that any form of a retainer, any monies paid is not refunded. And also, if you don't cancel your event within 14 days, all monies are due. And I'm not showing up. And also, if I decide that I want to take them to litigation, I have every right. Because What about you?
I'm probably going to go your route, at least try to get them to go ahead and make the final payment and talk to them. Try to deal with it the best you can. I actually had a lawyer at a conference tell us that you are in that contract too, both ways, and you're legally obligated to go and perform even though you hadn't been paid in full.
How did they
he explained it, but I can't remember, but he said that
But if your contract is stating,
I understand, but he said that you're legally obligated, just that they are legally obligated to pay you to perform what you agreed to. even if they hadn't paid you in full, you're still legally out. So, like I say, it could be a slippery slope, and
that don't make sense to me though.
I know, and it was he tried to explain it. It was a long, drawn out story, but he was saying that you are legally obligated to still go and perform at that event. I wish I could remember that lawyer's name. I may have to look that up. And
me too. We need to get him on.
Try to find that and see him talk about it. I think I even went up and talked to him after that conference and asked him, and he was like, "Yeah, you're legally." So like it's a binding both ways. So you've taken some money already, so you might as well it's just a lot of stuff. Yeah. So see, so that's what I'm saying. So man, I was like shocked. I heard that.
But my question is this: to you and Boogie Boy Flip.
Yeah. Where you from, DJ Boogie Boy Flip?
He from here.
Oh, okay. You know him?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll say this here.
You'll find a lawyer, get a lawyer on the show in a couple of weeks.
And my question is this, based on the verbiage of that contract, really determines that. Because look at this situation.
Okay.
Look at this situation. Let's take sport athletes. Based on the verbiage of the contract is where owners or the player themselves can do what they do.
Yeah.
So it has to be the verbiage in that contract that holds you liable to still perform.
Yeah.
Even with them not paying.
So just to play devil's advocate. Okay, I didn't pay you for half of it. I didn't cancel it. So how are you just not gonna show up and give me half of what I already paid you?
Yeah, I understand it because my contract says I don't have to.
So why you don't have to show up? I already paid you for half of the money. Can I get 2 hours out of the 4
that contract states, and I like that, Jeff, because now I'm gonna go back and add some more verbiage to my contract.
Yeah, it's just interesting, man, when it comes to law, because I listen to this lawyer every day talk about different things. And just the law, the way it's written or the way they say things, it's just sometimes it's not on your side. No matter how hard you try to flip it and change it, it's just not. It doesn't come around to help you. So I was, like I said, I was totally shocked and blown away when that lawyer said that. But like I said, I didn't pay you for half. I didn't cancel. We still got the venue. We still get married. Why are you not showing up?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. But that was interesting. I'm gonna go back and look and see if I can find who that lawyer was and see if we can get him on the show or just ask him some questions. Maybe I can do a podcast with it and post it or something if we can't get him on the show.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. But I just thought that was a good question for tonight. And those two topics just popped in my head. I had them hot topics dancing in my head. So I just come up with different things that, these are things that make you go, I don't know why that's on my mind, but I saw somebody talking about, what's his name, Freedom Williams and all of them from CC Music Factory. And I started thinking about that song, things that make you go,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, brother, once again, glad Ivan came on with us. And we need, like we said, now we need to start talking about our sponsors too, man. We got DJ Event Planners as one of our sponsors. We got not DJ Event Planners, DJ Event Gear that gives the group Crosstalk some discounts if you buy directly from them through the links. Also, Mike has something with so he's got an affiliation with him. And he's got a discount for the group if you want to do that. Then we got my man, the Brisket Boss. He's making up the great brisket around the Metroplex. Hit him up for some of that great barbecue and brisket and all kind of other stuff that he does. So we just wanted to make sure we start thanking our sponsors and start giving them some vibes and make sure we let everybody know who's making the show possible sometimes with a little bit of sponsorship. And if you'd like to be a sponsor, hit us up and we can throw in a commercial for you. So,
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, Miguel, you got anything else on your mind on this wonderful Tuesday evening?
Oh no. Other than I'm grateful to have some of the people that we have on, and it's a beautiful thing. But let's read this. Hold on. Contracts must be very fit.
Just add an S and you'll be okay.
Okay. Mike, your contract can work because you stated all of the before. I mean, you stated all the be present during the one duration of the contract. Once the agreement is broken, all deals are off. That's my whole point.
Hey, and I'm telling you, he said you still have to show up because you agreed to it.
Yeah. It just depends on how you agree. So, yeah.
I know. I'm telling you, it was deep.
Yeah, hey, I understand what he's saying, but it depends on how you agree.
300 DJs in there with their mouth open.
Yeah.
He said you're still legally obligated to go and perform. Interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, you are taking their money. You're not giving them anything. They didn't cancel, so
But
you're canceling on them. And you're taking their money, so you know what I'm saying.
I get you, Jeff.
I'm just throwing bricks tonight. Yeah, that's all. I'm just
throwing a whole bunch of rocks.
I'm just giving you something let's give them something to think about. So before you go counting on folks and taking their money, think about it. Or get some legal advice before you go saying I'm not going to do it. So, well, my brother.
Yeah. It was nice, man. It's always,
and
we thank you guys for joining us for the 34.
34. Next week, 35th episode will feature my man Keith out of Chicago with the Marquee Show. He wants to come on and talk about the Marquee Show, the great things he's got going on up in Chicago. And he reached out and said, "Hey, I want to come on the show and talk about the Marquee." I said, "Hey, we'll squeeze you in." So he got next week. So Keith will be on next week, and next Tuesday, 7:30, he'll be on. He said, "I started when they didn't pay. I packed up." Well,
that's my boy.
Hey, I mean, it could go any way, but if they sue you, if they didn't pay you at all, you got every right to walk away. But if you got some of their money, you better at least do 2 hours.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna give y'all half the contract.
Yeah, and Bowtie, DJ Bowtie, we need to get you on, man. Let us know when
you're available. We need to get him on. Yeah.
Let us know when you're available.
So Steve next week, and I don't know who else we got coming up, but we got some good shows lined up. And if y'all got any hot topics, anything you want to talk about, just don't talk to Mike about voided contracts.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. Yeah. The verbiage, baby. That verbiage.
The verbiage.
The verbiage.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm telling you. They don't pay me, they gonna get the Ricky Bobby hand.
It's deep though, man. It's really deep. So I'm gonna dive into finding this lawyer so I can let you know.
Please, because we need him on. We need to talk to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and find out who it was.
Explain this to us and give us the way to get out of it. I need the answers to the text.
He never gave her out. He just said you were obligated.
Yeah. Well, we need the answers to the freaking text.
All right. Yeah. And we probably hit up that other lawyer we had on. Maybe I hit him up, the wedding lawyer. He's a lawyer that strictly deals in this industry too. So I'll try to hit him up and see if I can't find the other one, see if he'll come on and explain it to us.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I would like to talk about the hip hop scene in Dallas from 1979 to present. I have lots of information. Man, that's a show we can do, man. Of course, that's a show we can do.
Give me DM me your availability on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays at 7:30.
At 7:30, bro.
and we'll see what we can do to get you on the show. We love to do that. We love people that step up and want to come on the show because a lot of people don't want to come in the hot seat. Not that it's hot, but it can get hot.
And you know what? And it's funny, or it's ironic that he's saying that because this is something that I was thinking about. I wanted to get with some of the local DJs that's been in the industry, you know, from way back then. You know,
that's a long time. 1979.
Yep.
Get down with the funky drummer.
Yep.
That's before I picked up a needle, Mike.
Yeah.
I love that joke that he had too, man. DJs don't share needles.
Yeah, I love that.
Did you catch that?
Oh, I know. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah, you know, people change their needles on you in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I know what he's talking about so much. I'm going to show it to you.
Yeah, man, that was too funny. How you little case take your needles off before the other DJ get on.
Yeah.
I know I will take my orphatrons off because you ain't gonna break my needles or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, for those of y'all that don't know, you know, this little piece right here, this little needle.
Yes, about $279.
Oh yeah.
Diamond. Yes, sir. Yeah. All right. Well, Mike, we're gonna set up DJ Boogie Boy Flip to come on and talk about the hip hop scene from 1979.
Yeah, we sure is.
We're getting close to the holiday, somewhere in there, close, somewhere in there. We got to look at the schedule for June. I know we got what keeps the end out the month next week, and then we'll start into June. Which one is that? I can't. You know you're in your own little black world over there, so we can't see half of that.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
There you go. Orphatron. There you go, baby. Yeah, everybody had their little case. Yes, sir.
For the 1200s.
The blue, are those the blue and orange ones?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I think I got some denins on mine right now. Some white something.
Yeah. When we do our first show at the new spot, we're gonna pull out the 1200s.
Yeah, that's coming up too. We're gonna be able to do the show together starting real soon, y'all, in a studio. So we got some good stuff coming. But Mike, hit the theme music before I get hit upside the head with a 2-piece, man. And
all right.
Y'all, what? Trying to find out about the
Acapulco Ballroom.
Is that back in the day?
Yeah. DM me on that, brother.
DM on. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Let's give them something to talk about. But that's cool, brother. We'll get you on. We'll talk about that. So, but
peace until next time. Get out of here.